All right, coming up after a week of boating accidents and a long weekend approaching, Grace Ke will find out what you need to know to stay safe on the water. All right, Christy, police patrolling the waters of English Bay at the Celebration of Light are cracking down on boaters.
Baler or manual bilge pump?
Yeah. Throw line?
Yeah.
Members of the Vancouver Police Marine Unit, as well as the Port Moody Police, were out in force last night. Thousands ventured into English Bay to see the fireworks, but the two police departments first carried out boat checks. They were making sure vessels were equipped with life jackets and safety equipment, as well as ensuring basic seaworthy elements. There are several items boaters are required to carry by law and others that experts suggest they take along in the interest of safety. And that's what our morning news reporter Grace Ke is talking about down at False Creek. Grace?
Good morning, Steve. Yeah, we are here joined by the Red Cross, Deanna Udy and Michael Miller, and we've got a display here of all the things that you are required. So let's go through them, starting with this end here.
So first and most important, it's going to be a life jacket for everybody that's on board. So this is a life jacket department approved, and you're going to need a bailing can.
Okay.
You're going to need a flashlight that's waterproof, a throwing line, a floating throwing line,
Okay.
and a sound signaling device, which can be a air horn one, or you can use a whistle. And you can have that attaching it to your life jacket.
And again, it's important to actually wear the life jacket, not to just stuff it under something.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to end up in the water, so wearing your life jacket all the time you're on a boat is really important.
Okay. And Michael, this stuff on this side?
So you need a fire extinguisher if you have an outdoor or inboard motor,
Okay.
or a cooking unit. You also need the anchor with a 15-meter line, and the navigational light if you're traveling at night, and the paddle. A lot of people don't realize that you have the motor, but if the motor goes, it's nice to be able to still get to safety with a paddle.
And again, these are all things that are required by law, but is there any item particularly here that a lot of people don't bring with them typically?
Unfortunately, most of them.
Most of them.
So we do find that they are bringing the jackets, but the problem is they're not wearing the jackets.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if we mentioned this one as well, the personalized
Pleasurecraft
thank you.
operator card.
Yeah.
Pleasurecraft operator card. So by law, you have to have that now with a boat.
And what does that tell you?
Basically, it's like a license.
Okay. And you can just go online for that as well?
You can go online and find a local operator that will where you can take the exam.
Okay. And the life jackets as well, you said that, so many people just they're not fitting properly, especially for the kids.
Well, they basically go to the minimum standard of law, so they make sure that they have one on their boat, but they're not making sure that all the buckles and zippers work, that they're fitting properly, and as I mentioned earlier, if your boat capsizes, it's disoriented enough. Could you imagine trying to gather your kids or anybody else that were non-swimmers on the boat?
Yeah, all right, some good tips here. So again, this is everything that you are required by law to have with you on the boat. So take a good look, and next time you are out there on the waters, make sure you have all of these. Steve and Sophie?
Very good advice. Thanks very much, Grace.
Very calm in the water behind them.
I know,
It's
I know.
so nice out.
Coast Guard and safety experts are reminding boaters to be vigilant. Our morning news reporter Grace Ke is at False Creek this morning with more on what to watch for on the water and how to stay safe. Grace?
Good morning. Yeah, joining me this morning is Shalina Wellner with the Preventable organization. Tell us a little bit about your organization, what you guys do.
Preventable is a provincial multi-partner organization that's looking to raise awareness, transform attitudes, and ultimately shift behaviors amongst British Columbians.
Okay.
So the current campaign is have a word with yourself. So we're asking British Columbians before partaking in activity, stop and have a word with yourself. Are you taking the preventative measures to ensure that you and your family are safe?
So what are the top key advice that you do offer for people?
So it's specific to water safety. The number one is to ensure that you wear a certified or an approved life jacket or a personal flotation device. The second paramount key is to have supervision, close supervision at all times around any bodies of water or swimming pools, lakes, oceans. Third is don't consume alcohol. If you're going to be out on the water in a boat, don't consume alcohol. It's the same for drinking and driving. Same for the boat. Don't drive when you've consumed alcohol. The other tip is to ensure that you have CPR or first aid training should an incident occur, so that you are fully prepared to take the necessary measures. And lastly, around swimming pools, is to ensure that you have a four-sided fence around the swimming pool with a self-latching, self-closing gate to ensure that children are kept out of it.
How many accidents do you find do happen because of alcohol? There is consumption of alcohol.
There is about 41% of the drownings are related to alcohol and alcohol consumption, so that's quite high. Yeah, so we really encourage British Columbia to stop, have a word with yourself. If you have consumed alcohol, just think for a moment, should I be out there on the water in a boat driving? Yeah.
And when it comes to fencing around pools as well, do you find that a lot of people are doing that or not at all?
We certainly have a lot more than we have had in previous years, but we certainly need to go a lot further with that. And it's not so much your children as well, because they may be trained in terms of when to be out there, but it's neighboring children that you want to keep away from the swimming pools as well, to ensure that drownings don't occur.
That's interesting. So it's usually the kids who are there whose parents own the pool, and I guess the parents are telling them and warning them about it, but it's the
neighbors.
Yeah,
exactly. And that by having the fencing, you're ensuring that they're safe as well, and they're kept out of the swimming pools.
All right. Thanks a lot. Some
Thanks
good
very
tips
much.
there. So again, just a few reminders here this summer to enjoy the waters, but obviously to take these precautions into consideration as well. Steve and Sophie?
All right. Thanks very much for that. Grace Key at False Creek for us this morning.